I do not fight against the scientists, but I think they should open their eyes and they should research on some of our findings. I think they might find out many strange things. All of you know the legends about giants and little people. I was invited 2003 from Professor Wayne Deloria, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. He was the most famous North American Indian. He took rights against the government for his indigenous people, and he was a great researcher. He invited me to a 3-day meeting with 15 elders of the big North American tribes, and the 3-day meeting was about giants and little people. Until this meeting, I had never any experience or data or facts about giants and little people. But after that meeting, it really started, and I was very much shocked about some of the findings. You see here, on your right side, a normal human man with about 180 centimeters, and next to him, you see skeletons where we found documents or stories or legends about giants. The one before the last one on the left side is about 7.60 meters. I got the information that Father Carlos Crespi in the 1962 was called by people from Ecuador from a mountainside because a heavy storm brought down a part of a platform, and they found a lot of destroyed bones. And as they didn't know what kind of bones these are, they called Father Carlos Vaca, who was working in a hospital, and he recognized that these bones are from a human. But he also found out that this skeleton must have been the size of 7.6 meters. Here you see Professor J.J. Hertug, an American researcher, in front of the big human footstep in your own country. So that means giants also lived in South America. In South Africa. Here you can see a photo with some of the bones. Father Vaca recognized some of the bones and he described them. When I found the family, because he passed away just 1 month before I could find his niece, she allowed me to bring some of the bones with me to Vienna, and we had several researches in Vienna. This is a part of the skull, and it must be so old because some of the parts of this bone were already crystallized. This is one of the bones I brought with me, and it was identified by several scientists as a human heel bone. But the professor of anatomy of the Vienna University, he checked the bones, and finally he said, I cannot believe it. It looks definitely 100% like a human heel bone, but it is impossible because it is at least 5 times bigger. Next day, he visited me again, and he brought some of the human bones, real human bones, with him, and he compared it, and definitely he said, still it's impossible for me, but these are definitely human bones. The skeleton was 7.6 meters in size. This is another side of the bone. Here you have a part of the nose bone, also 5 times bigger. And that's a so-called os occipitale under the skull bone, which makes us able to turn the head. It's again 5 times bigger. We found old documents from a Spanish historian. He was half Inca and half Spanish. He was writing in 1576. Today we found several human skeletons at the coast of Esmeraldas in Ecuador, and they were all 5 times bigger than we were. At this time, a Spanish man had the size of about 150 centimeters. He was just a little bit smaller than me. In the Museum de las Culturas Aborigines in Cuenca, we found these eggs. The egg is 70 centimeters in size. It's granite, very heavy. You can even see where some rope was around it, and it was definitely used. In the museum, of course, it is mentioned as ceremonial eggs. And we did measurements with existing real stone axes, and the size of this one is again 5 times bigger. This is another big, like this size, stone axe, also in the same museum, and this is another one like this size. So that means a 70 centimeter stone axe wouldn't have been able to use for a normal human to use it or to handle it. But for a man with a size of 7.5, 7.6 meters, it would have been definitely possible. When I had the exhibition Unsolved Mysteries in Switzerland, we did a model of a 7.6 meter skeleton, which you can see part of it here. Yesterday I was talking about giants, little people, human with elongated skulls, human and dinosaurs. Today I show you many so-called O-parts, U-parts, like the out-of-place artifacts. Of course, I cannot give you any answers. A few months ago, an American writer wrote a book about me, and she made the subtitle, Digging for Answers, Getting More Questions, and this is the reality. On some of the artifacts we did scientific researches. These results I can easily explain you and tell you, but for many of the artifacts there is no answer until now. A few years ago, when we tried to do the exhibition Unsolved Mysteries in Vienna, I studied around the world, all the museums for strange artifacts, and finally we had a list of 356 pieces. A friend of mine, a museum director, wrote a lending request to all of his colleagues. And out of these 356 requests, we received only one agreement, because museums, if they lend you some artifacts, they have to give you an explanation, and most of those pieces were also quite impossible to give an answer. So today I start with the age of human. On this photo you see the footstep, the positive and negative side of a footstep, human footstep. It looks like a shoe step, but the scientists of course said immediately this is a natural formation. But the strange thing on this object is that you can see on the right side, here and here, you can see a crashed trilobite. This is an animal which concern the official scientists. Trilobites finally disappeared in the mass extinction at the end of the Permian about 250 million years ago. And it's definitely that this trilobite is crashed by a wave. So that's quite impossible that human cannot be 250 million years ago lived already. Here you have a better view, so you can see the positive and the negative side and the crashed trilobite. This is a human footstep found in the Biloxi River in Texas. There are a lot of these footsteps parallel with dinosaurs' footsteps. And of course, the official announcement was immediately, this was done by the creationists, because there is the Creation Evidence Museum allocated very close to the Biloxi River. So they took out one of these footsteps and they sliced it into, they cut it into slices, and you could see on the inside, you could see that wormholes in the stone also had the same form like the footsteps. So it was impossible a fraud or a fake. But as these footsteps were parallel with human footsteps, with dinosaurs' footsteps, that wouldn't have been possible. Age dating also there around over 100 million years. This is a petrified human hand print, also in a petrified, and also the age dating should be over 50-60 million years. So is it reality that we human only are until now over 1 million year old, or did human live already long time ago? This iron cup was found in United States in a coal mine, and it was enclosed in a big stone brick. And when they broke this piece of coal, inside was this metal, this iron cup. And you can see that the pressure of the petrification of the coal put some part of the coal directly into the iron and deformed it. The age dating of the coal in the area where it was found, geological age, is 65 million years. This is a petrified human finger, and they cut it also into pieces before they did some X-rays, and you could see that the inside, where the bone is much stronger than the area where the meat was, and you can see even the fingernail. These pieces are presented in Glen Rose at the Creation Evidence Museum. Here you see a monastery in Colombia. The Santo Ecce Homo Monastery was built 1620. The area in Villa de Leyva, that's the place called Villa de Leyva, is full with fossils. The whole area you can find big fossils, small fossils, and the padres, the fathers, used some of the fossils for the construction and for the floor of the monastery. On this picture you see a great researcher from Colombia, Professor Jaime Gutierrez. On this picture you see a petrified pineapple. Here you see an avocado. Here it's a bigger photo. This is a